Hello everyone, Minute Plus Meditation here. It is Tuesday, December the 26th, and it's not Boxing Day, it's St. Stephen's Day, all right? I know what everybody calls it, but we need to kind of think in a liturgical sense. It's St. Stephen's Day. So I actually hope, for what it's worth, that you're not going to get caught up in these Boxing Day sales, which are crazy. And people line up and they leave the house, they leave each other, family, and so on. They get caught up in these long lines, crazy hustle bustle. And it's really, I'm not, saying in and of itself it's wrong, but we have to really establish priorities. This is so important for all of us. As our priorities really are spending time reflecting, even resting, because probably people are really tired. But resting and spending time in prayer, spending time with family. And if you're alone, even going for a walk and praying the rosary. These are really important things, and not getting caught up in this whirlwind, this frenetic, buy, endomorphins, adrenaline, all this kind of stuff. And I mean, that's the world. The sales, even you have to ask yourself, do I even need anything? Do I really need something? Or do I just want this, or I just, just kind of spend the time reflecting and resting. That's really important. If you can't, get to Mass. Okay, Stephen, full of grace. This is from Acts of the Apostles. Stephen, full of grace and power, did great wonders and signs among the people. And then these individuals who belonged to the synagogue of freedmen, they argued with Stephen, but they could not withstand the wisdom and the spirit with which Stephen spoke. So they showed themselves to be the dishonorable or lacking in honor and integrity individuals they are. So they lie about him, and they bring him up against to charges. And to make a long story short, I mean, it sort of cuts through different parts of Acts. Stephen is standing before and he gives testimony to Jesus. And as a result, he's going to be stoned to death. So the church inserts this feast intentionally right after Christmas. So you've got white and then you've got red. You've got Jesus and his first witness, St. Stephen. Well, John the Baptist was, but St. Stephen, in terms of after Jesus has died and risen, then you've got St. Stephen, who's willing to stand up and courageously preach Jesus Christ and him crucified. And he's the only Messiah. And as a result, he will be martyred. In other words, he'll be the witness. He'll be murdered. They will murder him. They will put him to death. But he was willing to, he didn't count the cost. Stephen was more important for him to be faithful to Christ than hang on to his life. And that's an example for all of you and me. Christ probably won't ask us to be martyred in a physical way, but he will ask us to be martyred in the spiritual sense or emotional sense or psychological, like white martyrdom, dying to ourselves every day, rather than choosing ourselves. Choosing, or just acting like we go to bed too late, we can't get up and pray and so on. So we need to die to ourselves and live for Christ. These are decisions we, come at us every single day. We have many opportunities to die to ourselves, to be the white martyr, the witness to Jesus that he's more important than we are. Okay, over to the gospel. It is Matthew chapter 10. Jesus said to the 12, beware of those who oppose you, for they will hand you over to councils and flog you in their synagogue, and you will be dragged before governors and kings because of me as a testimony to them of the Gentiles. So our Lord, basically, he's straight up with us. This is going to cost us. Why? Well, because it's not just a void he's come into, but he's come into a battleground. Our Lord has come into a battleground. It's the whole arena of free decisions and the consequences of free decisions. We've got Satan, Lucifer, and his crowd, his demons, who are opposing God. And then you've got God, and God mysteriously allowing this time of testing for us, because love must be free. So we're in this battleground. So our Lord did not come into a twilight zone. He didn't come into a bubble. He came into a battle zone. And so it is a battle. We're battling against principalities and powers, which is why he's warning us in the readings that, we're going to be hauled up against synagogues and so on and so on are going to be persecuted. We're going to experience resistance, pushback. And we need to be prepared for this. That's why it's important that we have a plan of mortification, that we meditate on the Stations of the Cross. Yes, we're in the octave of Christmas, and we should celebrate, in a due sense, but we should also be conscious, even during this time of the solemnity, the octave of Christmas, it's not just a free-for-all, right? We're still making sacrifice, time to pray. We're still, watching our intake of drinks and so on, and food. It's good to celebrate, it's good to feast, but it's not good to be a glutton, ever, 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 ever. So this is how we can, even in this time of celebration, we can be telling our Lord, as if he doesn't know already, but telling ourselves that yes, I can celebrate, but I also need to be conscious of being a faithful witness right here and right today. God bless you.